Of course, that was Stephen Jantis. I was going to say that I missed him, but I know that he's there watching. But I mean, I was listening to every word that he said, and you know, I don't know what it is about Stephen and I. I mean, I love him. I love his work, but there's always this little. I want to challenge some of the things that he says, you know, because he has such a lovely and different perspective of love. You know, similar but different. It's amazing, amazing guy.
That was a great poem.
Yeah, it is.
Really nice.
And he's an amazing guy. I mean, there's so much to him. You know, I'm hoping that he'll be on our set with us next week, God willing, if he can make it. It'd be really nice to see him so I can tell him again to his face about this in love and love thing.
But although he's not here, he's sending messages for you, my dear.
Oh, you see what I mean? What has he got to say?
Tell Delia, love at first sight is cured by a second look. So there is nothing called love at first sight. And he laughs.
Love at first sight is cured like a second look. What does that mean? I mean, I'm lost now.
You have to decipher that code.
I don't
This is
know.
what I mean.
It could mean that when you look the second time, you realize it wasn't love. I don't know.
You see what I mean about this man? You know, Stephen, you have to come and explain that one because that's a bit way over my head there. I mean, it makes sense to you, but I'm not too sure about that. Any other definitions of love?
Love is a quiet knowledge and comfort that your partner is always behind you.
Yeah, that's a really nice one.
That's a nice one.
That's something you can put on one of those cards. You know, sometimes you want to buy your partner a love card and they just haven't got the words that really suit you, and you go, yeah.
The store attendant is like, okay, really?
Yeah, that's a really lovely one.
Yeah,
that's a really lovely one. I was saying before how we met. It's amazing how Chrissy and I met. Can you remember
Is
how
this a
we
love story?
Well, not our love story. I remember it. I got a telephone call saying that Delia Dolor wanted somebody to sing a special serenade for the special person in her life. So, I mean, right away I called her and she told me the song she wanted, which is The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. And
Oh man, I love that song.
yes. And she gave the meaning behind the song, that she always said that if she ever really falls in love, that is the song. And then she was just telling me like what inspired her to do that special serenade. That he was away on business and he had an important meeting and he's like, you know what, I need to see you. I need to see you. And so he came and I was so inspired. I did the serenade, but before that I did a little surprise. Like their story just inspired me to write a little poem. And I delivered it to them after I did the serenade.
So where was that done?
Oh, some time ago.
Where? Was it in a house?
No, at a restaurant.
Just to see his face, he was like... and I'm sure he's watching now.
Yeah,
thinking,
Now here's the question. Did you get paid for that, Chrissy?
Is that any of your business? But, I mean, I think that sometimes it's the act, the things that you do. As we've said before.
The little things.
Yes, and I think sometimes people take love for granted, or they think, well, you've been with me long enough, you should be in love with me right now. Or they think that just being nice and having great sex means that the person's going to love you. It's much more than that, isn't it?
Yes.
Good.
And a lot, as you said, sex, a lot of people think sex is love. You know, and some people fall in love or think they love somebody just because they're having great sex, you know. And there's just a chemistry for the physical touch. There's no love. It's not real love.
I think that the greatest or the best sex of your life is when you're in love.
Tell us.
Oh, no. She knew because her face was like, oh,
No, I was just waiting for more.
Now she's trying to put the diversion on you, right?
Exactly.
But I looked at her face. I mean, you see the same way I say that Stephen and I have this kind of relationship. Claudia and I, we have the same kind of, you know. But she looks at me and I didn't know what's going through her mind.
Nothing's going through.
I know what's going through. Why do you think this woman is exercising the way she exercises? But you know what? I want to talk a bit about some films, like the greatest love movies and so on. And of course, a lot of people would think, maybe this is before your time, Chrissy, Love Story. Can people remember that story, Love Story, the film? It starred Ryan O'Neal, that's right, here we go, and Ali McGraw. And that was like the love story of all time. That was back in the days, I can't remember what it was, in the days of Peyton Place, and oh gosh, I'm showing my age now. But it was, you know, Ali McGraw was so sick, and you know, they fell in love, and you know, he looked after her, and she was in hospital. You don't know what I'm talking about. Next, okay, now I'm wasting my time here. The people who appreciate love movies, they would know this one. Okay, now you must know this one.
Of course, everybody knows this one. Titanic.
Yeah. That is amazing,
Some
isn't
movie
it?
that was,
Yeah. I don't know when I see that.
Do you still cry?
Peter Pan and all that. I only cry for the ones that I know that are real. I mean, these things, they're not real.
The
Bridges
of Magic.
Now, to me, this is a classic.
I think
Now, again, Chrissy, that's too young for you. But you know,
I think I may have seen that.
let me tell you something. You know, there's certain films, doesn't matter how old you are.
You need to go
you
back
need
to
to
watch.
know them.
No.
What do you mean? I'm not finished with the other one yet. It's like, oh no. Okay, Bridges of Madison County. Okay, that's a really classic. You know, loving someone that you're not supposed to love.
Right.
You know, I mean, that must be really difficult. I mean, I don't know, most of St. Lucia is doing it. But, you know, it's true. Most of St. Lucia, you know, all these, you know, infidelity and all that, that's what they're doing, you know. They're doing these things and it's like, but this to me is a genuine kind of, wow, you know, it's people not supposed to fall in love and they have. Very difficult film, but a good film. Okay, now we can go to the what's wrong with this film? I thought this was a marvelous,
I was like, please
wonderful
don't do
film.
it. Please don't do it.
Brokeback Mountain. I think it's a classic. You saw it, Chrissy?
Wow.
I did.
What do you think of it?
It definitely pushed the barriers.
Yes,
what
yeah.
it did,
And it's so, you know, it's sad to see that, you know, we've got one of our people here, he has passed away, but, you know, I think they did it so wonderfully. And, you know, two men can love each other, you know, the same passion, you know. You know, I think that it doesn't matter what your sexuality is. Once you're not troubling someone who isn't of the same, you know, sexuality, you know, if they disagree, then you leave them alone. But I think that, you know, we're all human and we all have different... Okay, you can take me off now.
Somebody likes it.
But I think it's a classic. It's a wonderful story. So if you haven't seen any of those
that
four...
was like 2006 or something.
Some time ago,
Wow,
but, you know, I think that if there's anyone out there and you haven't seen one of those four, then you should really, you know, next time you have an opportunity to download a film or to look, you know, at a film, you try one of those, because I think they're really classics, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I think everybody's seen Titanic, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
But
regardless of your
Celine Dion
age,
made it even
you've
more
seen
famous.
it. Yes.
Yeah. What a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Any other films maybe that you think I've kind of... These are ones that I thought of. Any other films or songs that you can think of that, oh gosh, these are classics?
Just embody love.
Endless Love is one
Endless
song
Love,
that,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just one of
Endless
those
Love.
songs.
You know, I quite love country and western, and I was trying
I do too,
I was
actually.
trying to think of a really
You
nice.
don't?
You don't like
I
them?
love the storyline.
man.
There's always a story. I didn't jump. There's
Yeah, but to me, I was trying to get one, but they're all sad.
I think that's
A
what
lot of
country
them
is
are.
about.
They're all sad about killing somebody, or you know, not in a bad way, but all,
But
you know,
it's usually about heartbreak, though.
Yeah, it's
Heartbreak,
always about
yeah.
infidelity
Heartbreak,
or
yes.
heartbreak. That's what country. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad used to play one, it's called Julie, I think. I can still remember the words. When I married Julie, she was just 17. It's some kind of old thing. You know, and of course
There's
Jim
one called
Reeves.
Loretta.
Loretta. Hey, that's my mom's name.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just said my dad, she said my mom. See, I told you we have a connection somewhere, you know. You can never tell we might be related, you know? You never know. So love of family. We've spoken about love for our partner, but that's important too. I think if you love someone, to love their family or try to get on with them, because you know that's very important.
Yeah. And even your own family, and you could tell. I mean, if I can't show love and respect for my parents and my kid and my husband, how am I supposed to love somebody else? I mean, these are the people who you've spent so much of your time with, you know, and people have misunderstandings and all of that, but these things aren't supposed to linger for too long. And I know people who don't speak to their parents, or don't, you know, it's a little tough. Whatever the reasons are, some reasons are legitimate, but you know, love is something that it doesn't matter what you go through with somebody. You learn to work it out.
There's a saying that came to mind that I said, oh no, I think I'm going to make a fool out of myself.
No,
it's
no,
like
say, we'll
a
help you.
disparity between the mind and the heart. So essentially it says the mind remembers, but the heart forgets. So essentially like what Claudia is saying in that no matter what has happened,
Right.
you know, I think that love is genuine. So even if somebody has hurt you or done something, if you truly love that individual, I don't think you would stop loving. You may probably change your approach, but
Okay, what about the saying, better to have loved than lost than never to have loved at all?
I think I like that statement. Yes, it's true. I have been in love, you know, don't get me wrong. In love, I have been. Which is why I said you have to change your approach. But I think the feeling of being in love was so magnificent that it is really better to...
Did you learn from that? Because a lot of people, they fall in love and they don't learn from it. They just go back and do the same thing, make the same
I'm proud to
mistakes.
say I've learned from it. That's why now I'm loving Chrissy.
Okay, girl. You go, girl.
Until I'm in the position to love somebody else.
And I think you have to, don't you? You have to love yourself
to love
so that you
yourself.
can love someone else.
Definitely, definitely.
What about that saying, better to have loved than lost
I
than
think
never
it's
to have loved at all?
important. I mean, the experiences, life, you go through life and you should learn from your experiences. Whether you were with somebody thinking you loved them, whether you really loved that person, you know, whether what you felt was real from that person was not. It's an experience and you have to learn from it. And the problem comes when you don't learn from it. That's where the problem lies. But I think all these experiences are important for your development as a person, for your growth as an individual, for not making the same mistakes twice.
But you know, sometimes I have actually sat down and thought, I actually wish that we didn't have emotions, that we didn't love.
Where you just go around having
Because
sex.
it's so... No!
Starting a controversy here, are you?
See, you know what's on this girl's mind, you know?
I'm
You should see her in the break, you know, with her husband doing... when I try to do that to see what's on it, she's like pulling away from me. Yeah. But no, because I just think that love can be really painful.
It
It can be so painful. And I'm not just talking about love for your partner, but love for your
an individual,
parents,
right.
love for your children.
Right.
You know, when you love them so much, and let's say when they're taken away from you, because it's going to happen, they're taken away from you, or maybe things don't turn out the way that you would like things to turn out, and you love this person so much and it's just not working out. It's just so painful.
Right.
And sometimes I wish that if we didn't have those kind of emotions, then it wouldn't really matter.
But that actually brings us back to the statement, it's better to have loved and lost than not to love at all. Because can you imagine if you didn't feel that deep connection
I don't think I want to feel it.
No, but I'm talking about a deep connection that you felt so that you miss them, that you feel the loss. Can you imagine, okay,
Yeah, but
right
if I had
now...
no emotions, I wouldn't even feel that, would I?
But can you imagine a life without emotions? Can you imagine?
I just think that, you know, life is hard enough as it is. And when you have these emotions and they're all over the place, it's like, don't get me wrong, it's lovely to love, you know, and it's lovely to be surrounded by love and, you know, the support you get and everything. But when it goes wrong...
All right, but I think the best way to sum it all up is this song. It's so good loving somebody when
somebody loves you back. Oh,
And,
yeah.
and the problem comes when you feel like you're giving everything, you're doing everything possible because you love that person, and then
it's
you're
not
not getting
reciprocal.
anything back.
Right. Which
And
is,
they're only taking and
and
taking
taking.
and taking,
Right.
and
which
you're
is
getting
where
nothing
loving
back.
yourself comes in, right?
Right.
Because I think at that point, that's when you probably don't love yourself enough because you're giving all of yourself and you're allowing yourself to be used. So you really have to
You have to know when to
reevaluate. It
say,
is...
it's enough.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah, some people don't understand what love really means, you know, and this thing about... Another saying is, love hurts. Love hurts?
It does.
Why?
can't-
Why should
But,
it hurt?
yeah, why should it?
It
Why?
Why should it hurt?
It shouldn't, but what always gets
I
me
don't
is...
always agree with all of those statements.
No.
Love hurts. Why should it hurt?
No, I'm saying that I have felt it. Like, you actually feel a physical pain in your
Why?
heart. I don't know. I cannot explain
Is
it.
it
Well, it hurts
because that
because it's so
person-
good, or it hurts because it's so bad?
No, I'm talking about when... I'm talking about love gone wrong.
Okay.
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 Well, then it's not love anymore, is it?
No.
I guess.
Well, you think it is. All right. Well, we're going to go into a break, and we have another performance for you. And one of, oh God, she's just a beautiful woman, fantastic singer. she's just wonderful. So I'm just going to hand you over to Derry D. Williams.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I love this girl.
I'd like to sing for my husband. I've had my share of life's ups and downs, but fate's been kind. The downs have been few. Oh, I guess you could say that I've been lucky. Well, I guess you could say that it's all because of you. If anyone should ever write my life story, for whatever reason there might be, oh, you'll be there between each line of pain and glory, 'cause you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh, there have been times when times were hard, but I always somehow made it. I made it through. 'Cause for every moment that I've spent hurting, there was a moment that I spent, oh, just loving you. Oh, if anyone should ever write my life story, for whatever reason there might be, oh, you'll be there between each line of pain and glory, 'cause you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I know you're the best thing, oh, that ever happened to me.